Ready?
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tea and Talking. My name is Kelly.
And I am John.
If you're new to this channel, welcome. We are running goldenlifetea.com, and it is 4 teas so far that are made by Harvard PhD, Dr. Zhang, and we do reference a lot of his studies in our videos. So he was the one that developed all of our teas, and we do talk about them a lot on the Golden Life channel, but today we're just gonna do an unboxing of our new teawares. We have some fruits that I ordered from WeChat. I was taking the apple and I was dipping it into the passion fruit. It's a vibe. So today I want to introduce our brand new teaware from company Baocilin in China. And if you guys don't know how to pronounce it, it's just call it BCL. And these teawares are from Jingdezhen in China. If you don't know how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry. Just call it JDZ. And this was the home of many of China's most intricate and most famous teaware. And we are lucky enough to have an exclusive collaboration with Baocilin in China. So we can unbox their teaware today, and I'm going to show you guys. You can get one of these whenever you want on goldenlifetea.com or teaandtalking.com. Did I already unzip this? Yeah. All right, look at that. So this is the travel set. It's in white porcelain, and I do recommend if you guys are beginners that are just starting out Gong Fu brewing, you should try doing it in porcelain. Unglazed earthenware is really difficult to maintain and to clean. You can't use soap in it, and you should know how to season it, right? So if you don't know any of that, stick with porcelain. Really easy. You just wash it by hand. And porcelain is amazing because when you brew tea with it, not only is it so easy to clean, but when you brew tea with it, the flavor is completely uncompromised. When you brew tea in metal kettles or silver kettles even, you can get a hint of the metal into the broth, and you might not necessarily want that in some teas. So this is just a good all-around material to use to brew just about any type of tea. And this one is the travel set. So I'm gonna show you guys. On the pot, it's really beautifully constructed. Everything is handmade. This is bamboo, and it has one stripe of bamboo with a little bit of green. Everything is done by hand. It's really, really amazing quality. And when you go to Jingdezhen in China, everything has a standard of quality that you just can't match anywhere else. That's why it's so famous. It's really difficult to buy any of these tea sets in the US, so we're lucky enough to be able to score this exclusive contract with them. So because of that, you're not really paying any import-export fees. These are shipped directly to us. We are located in America, so you're just paying domestic prices. So it's a really great deal if you want to get something that's authentic. Because they were so popular in Jingdezhen, the pottery and the ceramics, people have been replicating them left and right, and it's very rare to find authentic Jingdezhen earthenware. So we're going to be getting a lot more porcelain for sure. We've had porcelain works that are made in collaboration with the National Museum of China, and we've also have collaborations exclusive with the original artists of Jingdezhen. So yeah, we have a lot of good stuff coming in. So if you guys don't know how to do Gong Fu brewing, I'm going to demonstrate for y'all. And you can serve up to 4 people with this travel set. You also have a cloth, eco-friendly, that you can clean up afterwards. You can even adjust this little handle. So it's really cool. So the first step of Gong Fu brewing is to warm up your teaware. And the first step is important because you need your teaware to be completely warmed up. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to brew the tea as intended. So if tea is supposed to be brewed at 95 degrees, then the cold teaware is going to lower the temperature, so it's not going to brew properly. So you got to warm up your teaware. So today we're going to be using our Sky Red Oolong tea, and you can get this tea at goldenlifetea.com. This was formulated entirely by Dr. Zhang, and this is what is currently known as Oriental Beauty. We use premium tea trees that are all the way up in the mountains in China. We use premium farming, processing, harvesting, and fermenting. So every single step we pay full attention to, and that's why when you try our Oriental Beauty, it's not the same. It is Oriental Beauty, but it's so much better. It's the best Oriental Beauty. There is no bitter aftertaste. The aftertaste is completely clean and it's completely sweet. And I really don't need to say much about it. You guys should just try a sample at goldenlifetea.com. You guys can see. It's like I'm showing off a palette. Check out my makeup channel, Beauty Talk on YouTube. And check out our Golden Life Tea channel, Golden Life Tea at YouTube. Have I brewed this one for you before?
Not sure if you did actually. I'm not well versed in the different names of the teas.
So
all right.
For the first steep, smell this. What does it remind you of?
Being up in the mountains, like with all the fresh air.
Oh, fresh?
Yeah.
Is there a bit of a fruity or a floral or a woody?
Probably more so woody. It does have a fresh nature kind of smell.
Fresh and clean, but also a bit woody.
Yeah.
That sounds about right for oolong.
That's what it feels like to me.
Ooh, a clean pour. I like that. Okay. So for today's topic for Tea and Talking, we're going to be talking about a big one. How did our businesses survive 2020? And if you don't mind, John, I'm going to ask you our first question.
Okay.
What changed in 2020 and what did you do to adapt business-wise?
Well, a lot of places closed down, so our way of life and quality of life in general has changed drastically. So there isn't much that we can do as opposed to what we were able to do back in the day. Now I'm saying like back in the day. It definitely felt like back in the day.
Oh, it's been a year, so
yeah,
you're not wrong.
So, in the end, it's all about adaptation. I mean, the easiest way is to just stay indoors, I guess. But a lot of people still want to go out. They still want to experience whatever kind of like way of life that they have left. So,
your grandma?
And, yeah, especially her.
I feel so bad for your grandma because sometimes she doesn't get it because nothing like this has ever happened before. So she's like, oh, how come I can't go out? How come I can't go buy groceries? And she's always saying, see, I would cook better food for y'all, but y'all wouldn't let me go out and buy groceries. So here you go.
She's a really big like social person. And it's especially hard for her. I mean, we try our best to make her happy. And you said how it affected business? Business-wise, how did it affect you and what did you do to adapt? Well, I mean, in my business, I do wholesale. So in general, I did lose a lot of customers my own customers lost a lot of like clients as well. And of course, like there are many people out there that were unfortunate and my heart goes out to all of them. But just keep trying, like do whatever you can do. Sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone just to get a job. And I'm afraid like in these dire times that you probably might have to do that for the time being. Just be safe. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Well, then they're going to extend unemployment if you choose to leave an unsafe work environment. So that's a relief for a lot of people. It is. Yeah, I mean, what changed in 2020 for my business, roughly 1 in 2 massage places closed, if not more, in my state. And I guess the reason why we didn't become
on the wrong side of that statistic is because we pivoted. So what that means is instead of service, we focused heavily on our e-commerce. We focused a lot more on our online virtual classes. And during quarantine was when I started Beauty Talk. I started Beauty Talk because because I was starting to teach right before it happened, right before March, right? So yeah, I didn't want my students to just be left behind, and I wanted to just continue that. And after everything is over, after quarantine is no longer as strict, I ended up continuing Beauty Talk, and that's my second channel. So by pivoting, we were able to save the business in a lot of ways. We were able to continue making money because our landlord was still continuing to charge us rent with no forgiveness and no room for renegotiation, right? And no leniency in the due date of our payments. I mean, no shade, all right? Y'all gotta do what you gotta do, but that's what happened. That's the truth. If you own a small business, you always have to check the news. When they were issuing the loans, the government, the money that they were giving to the businesses.
I mean, you're also talking about like PPP?
Yeah. We missed the first round of that because we didn't pay enough attention to the news.
I mean, and it's also tough, because there's so many qualifications that's required to be eligible for those grants. So, like, even if you fit the category, it varies depending on your qualifications within the categories.
Exactly.
So that also determines like how much you'll get back, or if you're even going to get anything back at all. It's really tricky. It's pretty hard. The process is definitely excruciating.
Yeah. Oh, we just got left behind because we missed it. They were just like, money's gone. Sorry. Catch the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, luckily there are next ones.
Yeah, there were, but we were just like, what? The bigger companies just swooped all the money. I can't believe it.
I mean, nonetheless, it's a real
Stuff out there.
It's a real arduous task.
Try the tea.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that.
No.
Okay.
Oriental Beauty, Sky Red Oolong.
All right. It's great. Well, I'm still going to stick with what I said earlier about being up in the mountains, fresh air, all that, all that breathtaking type stuff.
Yeah.
Like up there.
When you're at a higher elevation, around maybe like 3 up to 4,000 feet, right? The tea plant, it still needs to get plenty of sunlight, but when you're up at that high of an elevation, the growth becomes slower. The process becomes longer, and the yield becomes significantly smaller. But then, because you're taking that long for one plant to mature, you get so much more flavor accumulated within the plant because of all of that time. And when you're in the mountains, the air is cleaner.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. For the sweeter teas, like this one has a distinct fruity note to it. That's because of the hopper insect. Okay, the hopper insect is one of the big reasons why you can't use pesticides in most high grade teas, because they use the insects to bite the leaves. And when the insects bite the leaves, they excrete a chemical. I'm gonna put it in the video because I can't pronounce it. It's like at least 5 syllables. But this chemical is what makes the tea sweet. It's really cool. And it comes from the bugs biting the leaves.
So it's almost like when bees like pollinate flowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And this one I let brew a little bit longer, so it's a little stronger. And if you're not used to brewing tea correctly, even if you let this tea sit a little bit longer than it should have, it still doesn't taste off. It just tastes strong. And some people like it stronger. I usually don't, to be honest. But it's still good. I'm really liking this. It's a pretty decent shape for you to just kind of hold.
It has a nice feel, right?
Yeah. It reminds me of one of those things on the back of most people's iPhones where you can just like grip it really easily. So you won't lose. Yeah, this is good for beginners.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to think about it.
This is good for beginners because if you're just starting to use a gaiwan, the tops I noticed are really difficult to grip because everything is cast in porcelain. So yeah, because everything's made in porcelain, it's just going to be really slippery, and the wood makes it easier to grip. For our second topic, what made your 2020 better? Even just a little bit better.
I really went towards my strengths in terms of not doing much because of the fact that we're not able to do much like in this era right now that we're in. I just dug at the strengths. So in this case, I like streaming, like watching TV or playing games. I mean, so it's because of that, like, I dug in towards that and I was able to adapt. In the end, it's just mere adaptation. So, I mean, of course, everybody's different, but you'll be surprised when you'll see that there's many things you can do indoors as well. So try to go for that in the meantime. Anything like knitting, cooking.
What about business-wise? What made things a little bit more manageable? What was one thing you did that made things a little bit more manageable?
Well, definitely switching up the inventory, like the products. So, excuse me. So just switching up like the products, like to sell, like in my case. So I went towards the more essential items.
Oh yeah, us too, yeah. We've always sold beauty products at the spa, but we kind of prioritize selling the masks and a lot of the self-care products. We ordered more of those so that by the time that it got really, really popular and they were all sold out, we still had some stock. So we didn't run out. Yeah. You just kind of have to, I guess, roll with the punches.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And just keep an eye out on things. Make sure that you don't get left behind, in a sense. Yeah. Especially if you're doing e-commerce. Oh my God, everything is so different. Every week there's something new. Stocks too, of course. Like, that goes without saying. You have to keep reading the news every single day, maybe multiple times a day, to make sure that you don't get left behind. Oh, that's a tough one though. I guess my advice to give would be just continue and to figure it out. Keep going. Don't make excuses for yourselves. Because everyone's going through the same thing right now. Of course, you really need to give yourself that moment to just be human and to understand that everyone has their limitations. That's for sure. You still need to take care of yourselves and love yourselves. But once it's time to work, just push yourselves as much as you feel like you can, without, sacrificing too much. You just have to keep going. The less excuses that you can make for yourself, the better. Like for me, if I ever had to do something new, I always get scared. I'm just like, well, let me just ask someone else because I'm clearly not an expert. Like if I wanted to start investing in this stock, let me just have someone else do it for me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but now it's kind of like, okay, I can't make it. No. Because this person didn't get it a month ago, and what happened? He Googled it. So I'm like, you know what? If I need to figure something out, I'm just gonna Google it myself. I'm not gonna wait until someone else gets it and then explains it to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, something that you could figure out on your own, right?
Yeah, you guys really have to rely on yourselves because now, like...
Yeah, you assume that these people are actually putting in real work out there, right? Going through, like, hoops of fire, whatever, but it turned out it was just one Google search away.
Yeah, everyone's just winging it. Oh, my favorite one is how everyone knows Elon Musk, but he's not he makes rockets, but he's not like a rocket scientist. He taught himself the basics of rocket science because he wanted to build rockets.
Okay.
And did he go to rocket school? No. No. He just figured it out. He just figured that thing out.
I mean, I assume he took like a basic like course of physics, right?
Rocket science 101.
I just don't want people to make fun of you on comments.
You think people are gonna make fun of me?
Like, rocket school, what the fuck is that? Like, it's physics? Even I know it's physics, like astrophysics. Like, I'm guessing, at least astro is in space, right? Astrophysics, physics, astrophysics. You can, yeah, like, even I can pick it up.
I'm just a stupid dummy.
I mean, I'm the dumb one. I'm bad at science.
I'm the dumb one. No, I'm the dumb one. There can only be one.
No, like, I failed all my science classes, but at least I know the terms.
I failed all my science classes.
Really?
I don't even know all the terms. For the majority of all human innovation, somebody just had to figure it out. Nobody has a teacher to guide them throughout every step of their life, especially now, after you graduate college. Nobody's going to be there to guide you anymore, because after that, nobody cares. Nobody's getting paid to guide you anymore. So you just got to go on your own. And if you want to be successful in business, you can't wait. You just have to make it happen. And I did speak about this in the last video as well, a little bit, when you get writer's block, or in my case, like when I was reading about creativity block. And the only piece of advice that was given was just keep going. So what if you don't feel creative? It's your job now. This is not a whim type of thing. You have to make this happen. Go make it happen. How? Nobody cares. You have to figure it out. And that's really tough. And it's not something that everyone wants to hear, especially now when stress is at the all-time high. But I think it's worth mentioning because it's the truth. And I think that matters a lot. And it's always coming from a place of love. At least with me, it's always coming from a place of love. Was it too tough, or is it just tough enough?
Not really. I mean, there's really only just one way, one direction to go but forward, because time ultimately waits for no one. You only press forward. So despite how simple it may sound, it's really the complexity in the simplicity, right?
Ooh.
So I wholeheartedly agree with what you said. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing to adapt. Just do what you think is best.
Yeah.
You can only keep going up.
I remember I used to want to build a website when I was super young. I mentioned this in my last video. And I took a class. I was lucky enough to be able to have a web building class in high school. I took that class. We used Dreamweaver. Adobe Dreamweaver. It was so difficult. And I finished the course just so defeated. Like, I'm never gonna be able to make a website. Yo, this is so crazy. I'm gonna end up, if I continue wanting to do this, I'm just gonna end up under a bridge eating cat food. I'm not gonna make any money doing this. My website skills are just nothing. And now, I mean, not now, like a couple of years ago when I had to start my own brand and I had to do several websites for several different partners, right? Because we were starting so many companies and every company needed a website. And I'm just like, no, you can't use me. I'm useless. I don't have a web degree. I have nothing. But now we got Squarespace. We got Shopify. Everything is so intuitive. You literally just go on the website and it just tells you how to do it. There's no excuse. I made the first website for one of the businesses. In less than 4 hours, it was live. And it looked beautiful. And we haven't changed it to this day. And this is me not knowing anything about coding. People that knew coding left and right telling me, oh, you should just forget about web building. If you're not going to get into coding, then what's the point? You're useless. I'm like, no, I can build websites too. You just got to learn. There's always a way to do something. You just need to learn.
That's true.
And it always helps to keep an eye open and to look at your surroundings, study the companies that you want to replicate, I guess. I guess if you want to replicate the success, you know, just keep an eye open. Always listen to what other people have to say and always keep taking in information from everyone around you.
I agree.
Yeah. So how did you like this one compared to the last one? Because the last one I gave you was, I think, green tea.
I don't know how to say it without sounding pretentious. I feel like I'm drinking this like next to, like on a lakeside.
Ooh.
That's
a lot
what
of
it feels
nature,
like to me.
yeah.
I mean that's where tea originated from, right?
Yeah.
So it really feels like I'm sitting at a lakeside when I'm drinking that.
It's funny because my mom and dad they said the same thing.
Because it has a real tranquility to it.
The smoothness.
Yeah, that's really what I was trying to say. So
yeah, sorry, no.
As I said, like I'm
true?
trying not to sound pretentious. That's what I meant. Yeah. I'm making things way too deep than what it is. But yeah, it's really smooth. That's true.
It's clean, it's smooth, and it is so sweet. But it's not sickly sweet. It's just got that little hint of sweetness so that when you brew it strong, it doesn't become bitter, right? That's the secret of good tea.
That is.
Have that clean, balanced flavor. And oolong, Oriental Beauty specifically, is very creamy. Very light. But when you brew it strong, that kind of smoothness, it still remains. I don't know. I guess in the expensive ones. I mean, I'm the one sounding pretentious now, so there you have it. I've actually never tried a cheap Oriental Beauty tea before, so I can't compare. Oh my god, you gotta stop me.
Go ahead.
This is amazing. And it tastes even better. Oolong tea, it tastes even better with fruit. And it tastes really good with a meal. So for oolong tea, if you're drinking it after a meal, it actually helps a lot with digestion. If you have digestive issues, I would actually not recommend drinking as much green tea. Drink a milder green tea and then drink mainly oolong teas. And you'll see a lot of benefits with digestion. And if you want me to go more into it, I'll make a video on the Golden Life channel because there's a lot to unpack when it comes to the science behind tea and what it does to our bodies. Yeah. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching this unboxing video. I hope you guys pick up one of these sets for yourselves because it's so beautiful and it's quality. It really is. I don't know what to say, just try it out. And if you guys want free samples of our Oriental Beauty Oolong, these are our best teas. We'll be giving it to you for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Go on goldenlifetea.com. No code necessary. Our free samples are limited to the first 200 customers. We're gonna give 200 away per month. So check it out. Please try them. And when you try our teas, please brew them Gong Fu style. That's the way to extract the true flavor as intended by Dr. Zhang and all of the tea artisans in China. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us on Tea and Talking.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.